Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'll be showing you my recipe on how I make this make-ahead French toast casserole, which tastes just like bread pudding. So you don't want to miss this recipe for sure. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you already haven't done so, and if you have, thank you so much. So let's start cooking this French toast casserole. Here are all the ingredients that you will need for this recipe, and if you have leftover croissants, they work perfect in here. So go ahead and use those. So for this recipe, you will need the following ingredients: 3 eggs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 cups of milk, 1/4 cup of French vanilla creamer. You guys know my coffee creamer, that's the one I'm going to be using. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and 5 croissants cut up into bite-sized pieces, and this is the tablespoon that I use. Whichever baking pan you're using, go ahead and line it with parchment paper and then spray that pan with the parchment paper with a non-stick cooking spray. This is very important so you don't have anything stick to the pan. It makes cleanup such a breeze when you use parchment paper because there's nothing stuck on the pan. So this is how I do it. I always have the edges overlap a little bit. It's just easier to pull it right out. And you want to go ahead and break up the croissants into bite-sized pieces just like this. Go ahead and do that with all 5 of the croissants. When you're done breaking up all the croissants into bite-sized pieces, you might think the pan is really full, but don't worry, it's going to absorb all the custard that we're about to make. Now let's start on making the custard once we have all our croissants cut up into bite-sized pieces. You can see the pan is quite full. I do this in a big measuring cup. I go ahead and take the milk, and it's just easier to do it in a measuring cup because it's easier to pour on there. And of course, you guys know my coffee creamer. This is what I use. I'm going to use 1/4 cup of this French vanilla coffee creamer. You can use another flavor if you like, but I prefer, of course, I love this creamer and I always have it in my house. So this is the one that I use in it. And now you're just going to put everything in here. You're going to go ahead and add the 3 tablespoons of sugar and the cinnamon. Everything you're just going to start putting into this custard, that future custard that it's gonna be. So go ahead and put your vanilla in here as well. This is, again, like I told you, is kind of like a custard that we're making. And now go ahead and break the 3 eggs and put them in here as well. Once you do have all of the 3 eggs in here, you're going to take a spoon. It's easier to do it with a spoon. I've tried it with a whisk as well, but I just find it easier to do it with a spoon. So I'm going to go ahead with my spoon and I'm going to mix everything around in here because that really mixes up the sugar and everything in there. So I went ahead and added my eggs, and now I'm going to give it a good mix. While you're doing this, start breaking up the yolks in there. Keep mixing it until you have all the egg yolks broken and everything is incorporated nicely into the milk. Everything should be well combined. Once you have everything mixed, go ahead and slowly pour it onto the croissants. You want to make sure that you move it around so you cover all the edges, the middle. You want all of the croissants to have this mixture. So very important that you move it around and pour it all over. You don't want to just pour it in one area. After you do pour the entire mixture in there, go ahead and take your spoon and lightly just press down on it so it starts absorbing, the croissants start absorbing the mixture. So you just want to kind of help it out and just press gently down. You want to be careful that you don't spill it or anything like that. So you just gently want to do this. Just press it down gently and make sure, again, you cover all the edges, you cover all the middle area and everything because you want the croissants to absorb this mixture. Once you are done doing that, you want to go ahead and put some aluminum foil on it and make sure that you have a tight seal on it. And I usually let this sit for about a half an hour to an hour so it has enough time to soak up all that mixture. So all the croissants soak up all of that custard. So I go ahead and put some aluminum foil on it and I just crimp the edges to have a nice seal on it. That way no steam escapes or anything like that. But again, you do want to let this sit for at least a half an hour to an hour. After that, you're gonna go ahead and bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 45 minutes, depending on your oven and your baking dish. Mine is usually cooked in about 45 minutes. 45 minutes have been up, and look at this, it's started to poof up a little bit. We're gonna take this out and let this cool down. When you're opening it, be careful because the steam is in there and you might burn yourself. So very, very carefully take the aluminum foil out because it has a lot of steam inside and you might burn yourself. Look at how delicious this looks. Go ahead and cut up the size of pieces that you would like. And this is completely optional, but I do put a little bit of powdered sugar on it. It just adds that extra flair to this. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that as well. The powdered sugar on it looks absolutely amazing. You're gonna see that right now. This is the powdered sugar that I will be using, and I just sift it in there just like this, and it looks like it's snowing on it, and it looks so beautiful. It just adds that extra flair to this French toast casserole. See how pretty that looks? This can be served as a dessert. You can see this looks like a perfect dessert as well. Check this out, guys. How delicious does this look? French toast casserole. Make ahead breakfast, or you can serve this as a dessert as well. It tastes just like bread pudding. Do try this recipe and let me know in the comments below how it turns out for you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you already haven't done so. And if you have, thank you so much. Remember, always believe in yourself, love yourself, and take care of yourself. Until next time, I'm gonna go and enjoy my French toast casserole. Bye, guys.